Hey there. So, in my last video, I spoke about this being an uptrending market, particularly at the $1 million and under price point. And quite honestly, it's been an uptrending market at that price point for quite some time, as you probably are well aware. And you know that home prices are primarily a function of supply and demand. And when you don't have near the supply to meet that demand, which is just being fueled by historically low interest rates, prices will trend upwards. So you're probably wondering, just what does it take to get an offer accepted these days? And the answer many times is some pragmatic thinking. Now, let me explain. To begin with, I thought it would just be interesting to Google paying over list price for a home, just to see what information is currently out there. And what I found was a lot of prominent websites offering some incredibly flawed advice from people who clearly were not realtors, but writers with no knowledge or trends of our local market and our standard of practice out here. You know, and that's scary because a lot of people place a lot of belief in those articles. And that puts me in a position of needing to re-educate them when they become my clients. And that's absolutely fine. I love the educational process of real estate. Now, most homes, especially at the $1 million and under price point, if they are priced correctly, they go very quickly and with multiple offers, quite often at or over list price. And the lower you go down in price, the more competitive the housing market becomes. And I get it, you know, some buyers just have a difficult time wrapping their head around, you know, the idea of paying more than list price. You know, they think, you know, home is worth what a home is worth, right? And the answer to that is, well, maybe. But maybe there's also an additional, almost intangible value. You know, as a buyer, you got to ask yourself these questions. How many homes have I looked at so far? You know, and is this the home that really meets a lot of my needs? And, you know, how many places have you already seen? And can you see that by living there, the quality of your life will be so greatly improved? You know, how strong is your desire to transition from being a renter and paying your landlord's mortgage to a homeowner and building your own wealth? Now, you may have already figured all this out at this point. You say, yeah, I get it, I get it. But now, let's talk about what things are probably going to look like a year from now. Specifically, I mean higher prices. Because remember that supply and demand thing I talked about earlier? That's probably not changing anytime soon. You know, and if you're of the opinion that possibly you're overpaying now, I should say, you're probably going to look back a year from now and think what a great price you paid for your home. You know, in this uptrending market, to be the winning buyer, you sometimes need to just be ahead of the curve and pay a bit over list price. Now, yes, buyers need to be aware that the property may not appraise for value and what they offered, and they need to make up that difference in cash at closing. But you know, for many people, it's worth it, and it makes total financial sense in order to transition from their current living situation. But you know, that's just the perspective from a buyer. You know, there's two sides to every story, and in my next video, I want to discuss what sellers need to be aware of when considering an offer that's significantly over list price. Well, that's all for now. I hope you're all staying safe. I'm Bruce Bosman with AVR Real Estate. Please take care. Make it a great day.